We were recipients of the Marcellus Shale Grant for the last several years, and we finished up the 2014 projects, and Julie asked me if I would come in and give you folks a little bit of a report. In the 2014 round for Marcellus Shale, we were awarded a $20,000 grant. Well, as you well know, the money is matching, and of course we did that. Basically, the match came from the Federal Department of Agriculture. They have a program that they call EQIP, and the buzzword EQIP means Environmental Quality Incentive Program. Nevertheless, the first two items are deer exclusion fencing. Joe Ellen was here when we got into the possibility of deer hunting originally to try to get the deer population down. The article of the trust, it's a no hunting clause, and we went to court several years ago and received permission for limited hunting, and we did that, and it really didn't work out very well. For example, if we would have been doing, we were only allowed several days. If we would have had that situation in the last few days, it would have been pretty much worthless. Nevertheless, what we ended up doing, we learned that when we had a gypsy moth kill a number of years ago, we decided that we would do some deer exclusion fencing. Our problem on Governor Dick in terms of one of our environmental conditions is that the deer are simply eating us out of house and home, and there is no regeneration of the forest. We thought that hunting would help a little bit, and perhaps it did, but the population dynamics are simply, you take the deer out to a degree and they just come back in from the surrounding agriculture areas, the Pennsylvania game land, what have you. Nevertheless, we did find out that if we would do fencing, it really would work. And we did that in the gypsy moth area. It was, I think, 60-some acres, 67 acres, if I recall. But we did some timbering over the last number of years, and we fenced that also to give the regeneration a chance to get going. And that was what some of the first two items are for. And then the other items are brush management. I might point out to you D, which is we are the headwaters for two major water sources, the Conewaga Creek going through South Londonderry Township and the Chickies Creek going through Lancaster County. And when you get into a wet environment, you have a proliferation of barberry. And the reason I'm talking to you about that, I'm just giving you a little background here for Governor Dick, is because the barberry, first off, it's an invasive, a serious invasive, but secondly, it's a host to a mouse that is dependent on it, but the mouse carries deer ticks. It's an intermediate host. And the tick situation in Lebanon County, I mean, Governor Dick is serious business. If you ever know anybody or happen to have Lyme disease, it is serious stuff. And I've had Lyme disease probably off of Governor Dick, and I was lucky, sort of, but I had it. That's the kind of thing we're using the money for. And then if you get down to the bottom, you can see that we had a total with your $20,000 and the money coming from the federal government, we had a total of $58,660. 36 of it and change came from the EQIP, 20,000 came from Marcellus, and then 1,900 came from us.